LeBron James is the undisputed greatest of all time when it comes to longevity in the NBA, playing for multiple teams over the course of his illustrious basketball career, winning a championship for every single one. But all of that ends soon, as LeBron is nearing retirement. But what if LeBron played forever? We're finding out as we go all the way back to the 1960s, putting LeBron up against guys like Wilt and Russell, before continuing on through all of NBA history, putting LeBron up against every single era we've ever seen, testing his greatness against all the legends before him, all the way to the modern era current NBA, making LeBron play through all of history. Starting off in the 1960 NBA season, where LeBron James is joining the Los Angeles Lakers, a team that he's very familiar with in real life. But what was unfamiliar was the amount of talent from LeBron in an era like this, dazzling fans with his athleticism and his ability to score in a variety of ways. A player of his size being able to do everything on the court was completely unheard of at this point, and with it, the rewards would be pouring in. LeBron was immediately becoming the league's biggest sensation, and he was hungry for more, leading his team all year long to help them earn the top record in their conference as they are preparing to head into the playoffs. But as good as James was, he can't take all the credit, having two very good teammates by his side in Jerry West and Elgin Baylor, who were each pivotal pieces in helping the Lakers defeat the Pistons in round one and the Hawks in the second round of the playoffs to earn a trip to the finals. In the 60s, there's only 2 rounds to the finals, meaning LeBron and the Lakers only have one more hurdle to get their first ring. But that last challenge was going to be, without a doubt, the most daunting task of the entire year. The Celtics were stacked with superstar talent, but most notably, they had an all-time great center in Bill Russell. And considering the Lakers didn't have a noteworthy inside presence, Russell was bound to feast against LA. He was looking to attack offensively every trip down, and it was a matchup nightmare trying to slow him down. From finding easy opportunities through the pick and roll with Kuzi, or even finding his own ways to score by outclassing his opponent in the post. Paired out with the two-way play from Kuzi, one of the best point guards in this era, and Sam Jones, an elite scorer during this time frame, paired with even more Hall of Famers on the bench, and without a doubt, LeBron was going to be in for a challenge. But he was prepared to step up with the spotlight shining bright on him. In game 1, he would go out and put up 36 points, scoring in whatever way the defense was giving him. And keep in mind, with no three-pointers in this era yet, that 36 was even more impressive, and as such, it was enough to lead his team to a win. Although this was a best-of-7 series and was far from over. In game 2, Bill Russell was retaliating with a huge game of his own, and even though LeBron would play well again, this time around Boston had enough to get the job done, tying the series right back up. And to make matters worse for Bron, game 3 was heading out east to Boston, with their home fans cheering them on. That added boost would make the next 2 games lopsided victories for the Celtics, extending their lead to 3 wins, which was swiftly halted by LeBron once he got back in front of his home crowd fans, once again protecting home court and extending the series, all until game 6, once more playing in Boston. And that would be the final game to talk about, because Bill Russell and his team were doing everything right, and there wasn't anything the Lakers could do to keep up. The Celtics just had way too much firepower, and after a hard-fought series, they were taking this one home, winning an NBA championship on their home floor, kicking off our simulation with LeBron's first ever finals loss. But this would be far from the end of his battles with Boston. We're about to see this matchup a lot. There was only 8 teams here in the 60s, and like half of them are absolutely terrible. So it's going to start to get a little bit repetitive. To reduce that repetitiveness, we're going to kind of summarize the 60s and the 70s, and then the 80s, 90s, 2000s. We'll go in a little bit more depth, but for now, let's just see how LeBron does in this era. The next year, James was picking up right where he left off. After a disappointing finish in the finals, LeBron was eager to continue his pursuit of winning his first ring here early in his soon-to-be very long career. And while we won't know just yet whether or not he ends up getting his first championship under his belt, we do find out that this season was special, putting up even better numbers than the year prior, and with that, it was enough for him to be recognized with his first career MVP, all to earn a rematch against Boston and Bill Russell. The major difference being this year LeBron is the league's most valuable player, and he was reminding the world exactly why, single-handedly keeping his team in the running against one of the sport's greatest dynasties of all time. His averages in the final saw a boost from his regular season numbers, which is exactly what you want to see from your MVP when you need him the most. And luckily, it was translating to winning, taking a strong 3-2 lead in the series, 1 win away from a ring, which now meant the script was flipped from last season, where Russell was winning in game 6 at home. Now this year, he was fighting for his life, facing elimination in front of his home fans. And LeBron wouldn't hesitate to put his foot on the gas and finish the job here. There was no way he was letting this drag to a 7th game, and he would carry his team to the promised land, officially completing one of the most coveted accomplishments in all of sports. He was becoming a champion, and to go with it, he'd had a Finals MVP award, with the possibilities being endless moving forward. But any more progress just got a lot more challenging because the Warriors are moving out west to the Lakers conference. Meaning now, not only did LeBron have to overcome the Celtics, but Wilt Chamberlain will also be in his path to winning more rings. Much the same as the matchup with the Celtics, not having a noteworthy center would make playing against one of the best centers of all time very difficult. And already, the first year with this change, LeBron was struggling. He was playing great, but there's only so much you can do when your team is allowing the opponent to wreak havoc freely. This year, the Warriors would be coming out on top, but just like the Celtics, we'd be seeing them a lot more. Over the course of the next 5 seasons, the Lakers would face the Warriors 5 times in the conference finals, every time being an all-out battle and realistically boiling down to whether LeBron or Wilt play better than the other. Over the course of this period, LeBron was awarded 3 more MVPs, which meant he was really standing out in the league as one of the best players, but even still, he and his team weren't perfect, and out of those 5 meetings with San Francisco, they'd lose 1 more of the next 5, advancing to an additional 4 finals in this stretch, with of course the Boston Celtics waiting for them there again. As you can imagine, this was the same story already told, not only with the previous matchups with the Celtics, but even the same story as the Warriors. These were the only 3 good teams in the entire NBA, and as such, each and every time they played would result in a climactic close series that could go either way. One year the Celtics would have things all figured out with their deep star-studded roster scoring on all cylinders, leading to another banner in the rafters for the storied franchise, and then the next year LeBron would demonstrate an all-time finals performance, refusing to be denied another championship for himself. Historically, the Celtics and Lakers have always had an intense rivalry, but with LeBron added to the mix, this was catapulted to a whole new level, because now things were far more competitive. James gave the fans of LA hope that they could win each and every year, and he provided on that hope, winning 2 out of the next 4 clashes with Boston in the finals, adding 2 more rings to his resume, and he was making a statement in 1968. A major game from LeBron to close the series out against the Celtics to win his 2nd ring in the last 4 years. 39 points, only missing 2 shots. Phenomenal game, and things are about to get a whole lot easier for the Lakers and LeBron James, because there's a major change happening next season. I love watching the NBA on Christmas Day. I'm even wearing one of the Christmas Day Bulls jerseys. The NBA has just become a tradition for me during the holidays, and it got even better this year thanks to today's sponsor, So Rare. I've been playing So Rare every single week this season, collecting some of my favorite players like these Bulls guys and competing for cash prizes. I'm setting my lineup for this week right now, and I'm really feeling good about this one. Just the other week, my ball knowledge really showed. I got 19th out of 2,600 people, and I was able to win $20. So I'm trying to do even better this week. Oh, and like I said, So Rare is making the holidays with the NBA even more exciting this year. Every day leading up to Christmas, you can earn rewards in the Advent calendar to include free cards, jerseys, So Rare merch, and more surprises. And on top of that, So Rare has 3 special events happening for the holiday season. Starting off with Holiday Hoops, with a $12,500 prize pool in daily hoop competitions. Bounty Hunter starting December 21st, where managers will face off against So Rare itself to hit the target score and claim a share of the bounty. And then finally, on Christmas Day, we have the Santa's Helper event, where instead of picking 5 cards in your lineup, you're gonna pick 6. So you have an extra guy to help you try to win some cold hard cash. There's a ton happening with So Rare this month, so go sign up right now with the link in the description so you don't miss out on any of it. And by using my link, you'll also get 20% off up to $100 in credits on your first purchase. A huge shout out to So Rare for sponsoring this video. Now let's see the big change happening next season for LeBron. Wilt Chamberlain was forcing his way onto the Lakers roster, joining LeBron James to form what can only be described as the most dangerous duo the NBA has ever seen up to now. LA was putting the 2 players that have been trading MVPs with one another over the last several years onto the same team, creating a ridiculously scary dynamic. Think of Kobe and Shaq, but on an even more dominant scale. There was nothing the rest of the league could do, yet I was still shocked. A 79-3 record. I know the team is good, but that is absolutely ridiculous. By no surprise, LeBron's numbers did dip quite a bit, adding Wilt Chamberlain to the mix, dropping it all the way down to 22 points a night. But when you got a guy like Wilt who's averaging 22 and 13, I mean, that's kind of to be expected. And I'm pretty confident the Lakers are going to just fly through these playoffs, starting off with the Utah Jazz. I don't think they have anyone that good. We're just going to go ahead and simulate the round, and by no surprise, it's a sweep. The second round against the Supersonics, they have Lenny Wilkins, who was a very good player in this time frame, but I don't think there's any chance that they're going to defeat the Lakers who are going to win in 4. And finally, against the Phoenix Suns, I don't even know how they made it this far. We're going to go ahead and simulate that round as well. And the Lakers do end up losing 1, but they're still going to the final. And yet again, they're facing the Boston Celtics, but I don't think that this one is going to be anywhere as close to some of their previous matchups. Let's go ahead and simulate the round, and the Lakers completely smoke them 4-1. It is Elgin Baylor winning the Finals MVP, so this one doesn't go to LeBron James, but he's got yet another championship. And that trend of dominance wasn't stopping there. Over the next 4 years, each and every time, the Lakers were securing the league's best record and making playoff runs with little to no losses whatsoever. As age was starting to catch up to some of his teammates, more of the responsibilities were falling back on LeBron, earning him 3 more MVPs during the stretch. And with 4 more finals appearances, it didn't matter the opponent, whether it was the Bucks, the Knicks, or the Bulls during the stretch. Not a single one of them were interfering with the Lakers' quest for banners. The Lakers were winning every single season over the course of the following 4 years, boosting LeBron's total rings up to 8, but of course this wouldn't last forever. Wilt Chamberlain's time with the Lakers was coming to an end, sitting out the entire next season, meaning now LeBron had very little help on this roster. Wilt's gone, Jerry West retired, Elgin Baylor's retired. There is very little help left for LeBron James in his roster. He's got an old Gail Goodrich that's probably the best teammate that he has, which by no surprise led to the worst season LeBron's had since he started. I think in the 15, 16 something years he's been in the league now. This is actually his very first losing season, the first time he's not actually a contender, not fighting for a championship. And I think it's blatantly obvious why. Again, Gail Goodrich did decent, but outside of him, no one else on the team was really doing much of anything. LeBron was carrying most of the load here with 26.5 points a game, 9 boards, 7 assists. But there's only so much one man can do. But again, LeBron might be the luckiest player in NBA history up to this point, because things are about to move in his favor yet again. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was joining the Los Angeles Lakers. Once again, LeBron was being paired with another all-time great center, this time creating a duo of the NBA's 2 all-time scoring leaders. It would seem that this pairing was even more efficient than the LeBron and Wilt combo, with both players feeding off each other's strengths. But while their record wasn't as unreal as the early 70s, they were still miles ahead of any other competition in the NBA, soaring past all of their opponents in the playoffs, culminating for a battle against the Bullets in the NBA Finals, although it was far from climatic. LeBron has been on some insane teams up to now, and honestly, there wasn't much more to say. The rest of the 70s were going to be the Lakers for the taking. No team was built with enough talent to stop the likes of Kareem and LeBron together. From 76 to 79, the Lakers were making runs over and over again, eventually winning 4 more championships, concluding the 60s and 70s. And only 19 seasons so far, LeBron already is the clear GOAT, but his career is only just now getting started.
One of the rule changes that the fans are so interested in, of course, is the three-point play this year.
Yeah, it's going to add another dimension. It's going to be exciting as the devil acts.
With the NBA now officially adding a three-point line, LeBron now had more tools to utilize on offense. The LeBron in this sim is from 2018, a year where James was shooting around 37% from 3, meaning he would be able to shoot at a respectable clip here in the 80s. And in all honesty, with the rest of the league still being new to the three-point shot, at this point in time, LeBron was actually viewed as one of the best shooters in ball. And luckily for him, his performance would be the biggest benefactor, with his points per game now jumping to 28.3 a night, which was a boost from the last couple of seasons. But even with the increase in LeBron's scoring output, as well as his exciting abilities from the brand new three-point line, this still wasn't this season's biggest story. The real conversation was the fact that Magic Johnson, as a rookie, was joining the Los Angeles Lakers. In real life, people mention LeBron's championship with the Lakers as a Mickey Mouse championship, a little fake championship he won there in 2020 COVID years. But this whole run he's been on with the Lakers here, if anything is going to be a Mickey Mouse anything, it might be this one. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Jamal Wilkes. He's got a stacked roster, and he's had a stacked roster since he joined the league, starting off with Jerry West, Baylor, Wilt Chamberlain on his team. It's ridiculous. His skill set was, frankly, very similar to LeBron's. Large size with athleticism allowed him to score easily, but also being a willing facilitator, which allowed more opportunities for LeBron to get baskets without working as hard, which also could have been part of the reason behind his increase in points a night. By no surprise, this Lakers team was crushing every opponent in their path, even more so than the early 70s Lakers team with Wilt, setting a new NBA record for wins in a season. With dominance like that, it was no surprise that the Lakers are heading straight to the NBA Finals and were showing zero signs of anybody in the league having the ability to stop them, facing off against the 76ers here in 1980 and ending their playoff run just as fast as it started, sweeping through every single series for the first time ever and going on to hoist LeBron's already 13th ring. Not the most impressive stats we've ever seen from LeBron in a series, but almost averaging a triple-double on 70% from the field, mind you, is pretty crazy. There's so much talent on this team. There's only so many touches you can get. So I still think that 23, 10, and 10 is a very, very impressive finals to kick off the 80s. And that set the tone for the 80s going forward, because every single year in the following stretch was going about the same, with the Lakers crushing it during the regular season, a couple of MVPs going to LeBron, headlines about his excellence never being seen before in the NBA, and so much more, leading up to more finals appearances, which the next 3 straight were once again battles with the Sixers, if you can even go that far as to call them battles, because the Lakers were in full control. The games were simply formalities at this point, and with them taking the next 3 rings easily, things were starting to get boring, as it looked like no other team had a chance, at least until 1984. This year, things were starting off like usual. LeBron was having a strong showing in the regular season, continuing to prove that he's the most unstoppable force in the entire league, leading all scorers and following that up by earning the MVP. Again, the Lakers were securing a great record and going into the playoffs, round by round, team after team, crushing whoever was standing in their path, easily winning each series all the way to the finals. And this is where things would differ, with the Celtics yet again being in the way of LeBron. Back in the 60s and 70s, the Lakers versus Celtics rivalry was all the buzz around basketball, and now with Larry Bird leading another stacked Boston team, the rivalry was re-sparked. This series was bound to be the toughest matchup LeBron has had in a while, and it was living up to the hype. Right out the gates, we were seeing a level of intensity that we've yet to see in a finals matchup. Larry was aggressive and clearly eager to make the first strike and send a message to LA. He was attacking his man every trip down and exploding for 36 points, which was leading all scorers in the game. Of course, though, the Lakers have multiple talented pieces all capable of scoring 20 or 30 simultaneously, and that meant this wasn't a freebie for Bird. The big three of Magic, Kareem, and LeBron had ample finals experience and remained calm in the face of Bird's scoring outburst. They kept this thing close throughout, and finally, at the pinnacle of the match, they were extended by the Celtics just in time to secure the first win in the finals. But this Celtics team wasn't the same as the recent finals opponents. This team was the real deal, and they had some of the greatest players of all time loaded on the roster. Immediately in game 2, they were retaliating to claw back into the series to not let the Lakers slip away. And that wasn't the end. Moving out to their home court for the 3rd game of the series, Bird was still on fire and playing with the motivation he played with in game 2. The Celtics had the Lakers all figured out, and for the first time in years, LA was trailing in a series. But all their experience would come to play in the following games, fighting back to tie the series back up before the Celtics regained the lead again with another huge win on the road, ultimately leading to the Lakers playing their best basketball on the road themselves, tying us all up for a final game 7. And in the final game, it was as close as the entire series, coming up to the final moments with the outcome still far from decided. This game 7 is closed down to the wire, a storied rivalry for 2 storied franchises coming down to the final 3 minutes. James Worthy in the post, the pump fake, the drop step, creates separation. His lays off. Kareem the fourth, though, puts it back, ties the game. The Celtics now on the other end. I don't see Kevin McHale on the court. He may be fouled out. There's a lot of fouls in the 80s. Larry Bird down low, a quick hook. It rims out. The Lakers are pushing a pace. Showtime Lakers. LeBron all the way. He's denied, but he gets the board. Magic Johnson with it now. One-on-one. Magic has the mismatch. Beginning it to Kareem. A small Larry Bird on him. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to the lead. It's good. Boston now trailing by 2 with 2.5 minutes left in the game. This would be a huge stop for the Lakers if they can get one. Larry Bird, he's got a lot of traffic there. Magic Johnson switches on him. Larry driving on Magic. His lay is off again. The Lakers slow it down. Magic Johnson with it. Gives it to James Worthy. They're looking for LeBron James in the post. The MVP. LeBron kicks it to Kareem. He's not going to shoot the 3. Magic Johnson now at the top. Larry Bird on him. They're swinging it around. LeBron, 4 seconds left. They try to sneak into Kareem. What are they doing? The Celtics on the break. Larry Bird with the ball. Larry, in and out move. Pull up Jay. It's off. Larry's selling. That might be off on LeBron. It's the Celtics ball again. This is an intense duel here in this final moment. Still only a 2-point game. Neither side can seem to score these last couple of possessions. Parrish with it, swinging around Maxwell. They're trying to get it to Bird. Obviously, the play is set up for Bird. He's going to try to get this low post. They're throwing some risky passes. LeBron off to the races, all by himself. It's good. I'm not sure what the 2K AI is doing here, but The Boston Celtics are not doing a good job of staying in this game. Johnson with it. Dennis Johnson, the lob! Back within 2 now in Los Angeles. The Lakers have the ball. You score here, you extend the lead. LeBron trying to get low post position versus Larry Legend. LeBron one-on-one with Larry Bird. The pump, nowhere to go. Bird did not jump on the fake. Magic Johnson with the ball now. He's driving it in. Johnson, 5 seconds left. Him in the post. His lay is no good either. The Celtics now. Larry Bird with it on the break. How did he get straight in the lane? Easy. A leg ties it. I don't know how they just let Larry Bird get into the paint so easily. LeBron James taking it straight into Larry Bird's chest. His pull-up jumper. He extends the lead back to 2. With the fate of the season on the line right now, you have to wonder, what are the Celtics going to drop? You have to assume that Larry Bird's going to have the ball in some capacity here. Down by 2, 42 seconds left. He has LeBron James sticking in. He's getting the screen from Robert Parrish. Larry Bird making his move. LeBron gets some separation. His jumper, it rims out. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with the board. The Lakers now with it. Cooper trying to drive it in on the fast break. He's going in the post. I would slow down, waste some clock if I am Los Angeles. LeBron finds Kareem for the dunk. 4-point lead. Unless the Celtics have a miracle up their sleeve, this one could be over. The Lakers dynasty could be continuing. They inbounded to Henderson from half court. Johnson with it. Dennis Johnson has to go quick. You don't have time to waste here. The Celtics are wasting all the time, though. Larry Bird trying to get open. Larry for 3 over LeBron. Bang! They still have a chance. Lakers not going to use the timeout to get an inbounded Celtics foul. Just when I thought this match was completely over, the Celtics still have hope. Cooper hit the first free throw. Free throw number 2 is good as well. Boston, no timeouts left. 10 seconds remaining. You need a 3 to tie. I don't think you can afford to go for a quick 2 and play the foul game. You have to get the 3 here. To kick it over to Dennis Johnson. Bird over LeBron again. Oh, it's no good. The Lakers hang on. They're going to be NBA champions. And as LeBron now celebrates already his 5th ring of the 80s, he's looking unstoppable in this era. But with the introduction of a salary cap, everything was about to change. For the first time in his career, LeBron is a free agent and there's a salary cap now, which means the Lakers might not be able to spend all the money they want to acquire him. And while there is no unrestricted free agency yet, the Lakers could match offers, but if they don't have the money, they're going to run into some troubles. So we may be seeing LeBron in a new team. And by no surprise, pretty much every single team that has enough money to possibly offer LeBron a contract has offered LeBron a contract, but most of them don't have enough money to give him what the Pacers are offering. So he has most interest in the Pacers, but there is a chance that as the moratorium days go on and the free agency is underway, maybe some of these deals work out where they're able to give LeBron some more money. Maybe they make some moves. These teams become potential opportunities for LeBron. But as of right now, no offer from the Lakers. They can't afford him. They have too much talent. They're probably going to lose him. LeBron's about to be changing teams. And if he goes to the Pacers, they're not very good. LeBron's dynasty run could be ending, but there's only one way to find out. James was decided to take his talents out east to Indiana. Now, for the first time really ever, he was the sole star in his team, and all the responsibilities would fall on his shoulders to push his team to the top of the mountain. He was still a star in this league, whether he had help around him or not, and he was dominating anybody that was in his path. It may have been a change of scenery, but it wasn't going to be a change of his play. But the same can't be said of his team and their possible success. With a team like this, you can't really expect a whole ton from LeBron. This team is pretty weak. Even the bench gets even worse. LeBron's pretty much the only competent player on this entire roster. And when you take a look at the regular season stats, honestly, I was expecting a little bit more out of LeBron when you don't have these other stars like Magic and Kareem and James Worthy taking up some of your touches. I was expecting him to do a little bit more, but it looks like Clark Kellogg was kind of ball hogging it. I honestly never even knew this guy played basketball. Nonetheless, they still somehow ended up making the playoffs. But when you have teams like the Pistons, the Sixers, the Celtics ahead of them, I don't think they're going to make a deep run. And they might not even get past the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm starting to simulate the playoffs. They're down 2-1. It's a best of 5 here in this time frame. Let's simulate another game. They might get bounced. It's all tied up. And to be honest, I don't think you should be in this situation versus this team when you have LeBron James. But nonetheless, essentially a game 7 going on in round 1. And with the Simcast, they are absolutely blowing the Bucks out to secure this series. LeBron James with a relatively big game, 30 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists. He did his thing. But with round 2 against the Boston Celtics, they were struggling to beat this Celtics team when LeBron was on the Lakers. With that stacked roster, there's no chance that the Pacers win this. We're just going to go ahead and simulate this round, and they actually won more than I thought. They somehow beat the Celtics twice, so that's kind of impressive. And going into the 85-86 season, not much has changed as far as the structure of the Pacers, but LeBron was a free agent again. He only did a one-year deal with them last year, but he re-signed with them. I'm pretty sure they're like the only team in the entire association that can afford to give LeBron James the max at the time, which is like 1.15 mil or something. It's crazy how different the times are back here, but again, I'm not expecting much. We made it a little bit past halfway in the season, and it's not looking great. A lot of losing is going on, 28-30. They are still the 6th seed, but that's not saying much in the 80s. Jordan was making the playoffs with a losing record. This era is terrible, but look at all these losses to all these teams right here. I doubt they get much higher than 6. And the season ended, and we have a LeBron James MVP. He had a massive jump on his points. It looks like he took matters into his own hands a bit more this season, averaging almost 35. His rebounds and assists did drop, but he's playing out of his mind. 43% from 3 is kind of crazy. The free throw percentage is pretty accurate, though. Surprisingly, 2K loves to boost this guy's stats, but another MVP for LeBron James. And come the playoffs, they did end up sticking right here at the 6th seed. They're playing the Celtics, and I think, again, the Celtics are probably going to bounce them 2 years in a row. They get swept that time 3-0. And I guess the reason they got swept is LeBron is out with right knee tendonitis. That would explain a lot. But I was looking at some of his numbers, and he had a season high of 63 points. Career high as well, but 63 points in the 80s. That is absolutely ridiculous. But when you're looking at the next season and you see this many losses on the screen, what's that, like a 16-game losing streak or something crazy? You're kind of putting LeBron's talent to waste. What's the point of 60 points if you can't even win games? And the Pacers actually ended up finishing the 86-87 season with the worst record in the entire East. But on a bright note, any of you that know NBA history know the Pacers are about to get some much needed help for LeBron. The Pacers were adding Reggie Miller to the mix, who of course would go down as one of the best shooters ever, and while his floor spacing was a major help for LeBron, we were far from seeing his Hall of Fame caliber of play. The next couple of seasons would go better as you'd expect, but they'd still ultimately all fall short for the rest of the 80s against much better teams in the East. Which concludes this era with LeBron starting scorching hot and then plummeting back down to reality on his new team. But the 90s are sure to be something exciting. Because as all of you know, this is right when Michael Jordan and his Chicago Bulls started to form their own dynasty. They were taking the league by storm and would be the #1 hurdle for the up-and-coming Pacers if they were going to complete their goal of bringing a ring to Indiana, resulting in numerous matches come the postseason. Year after year, we were seeing the two names in the GOAT debate clashing every playoffs. But unfortunately for LeBron, Mike and his Bulls were more experienced. They had more veteran leadership, they've had more runs through the playoffs, and at the end of the day, they had flat out more talent than the Pacers. Regardless, LeBron was still determined to try and force his group past one of the most legendary teams in sports history. In the first couple of years in the 90s, LeBron had his best averages in matchups against Chicago. He was always looking to play his very best in this matchup, almost as an attempt to prove himself as the undisputed GOAT. Although the stats could only take him so far, in the eyes of a locked-in LeBron, Jordan was performing at just as high of a level, and it will boil down to the rest of the team, which in each of 90, 91, and 92 led to the Bulls coming out on top over the Pacers. But 1993 was set to be much closer. This year, Reggie Miller was breaking out to an even higher level than what we've already been accustomed to. He was having his best scoring season in his career so far, and his three-point shooting was at an all-time high, which come time for the conference finals matchup against Chicago, this led to far more spacing on the court for James, allowing him to flourish in the system and give himself a real chance against Chicago. So far, it's been MJ and his group maintaining the lead in these series all these years, but now we were finally seeing LeBron up, as he had a 3-2 lead and late in Game 6, a chance to finally advance. We have a close one here late in Game 6. The Pacers have lost to this Bulls team 3 years in a row, up 3-2 in the series now. In 1993, they have a chance to finally surpass Michael Jordan's Chicago Bulls. Scottie Pippen down low, LeBron smothered him, nowhere to go. They kick it out to Mike. Reggie Miller has the responsibility of trying to stick Mike, who gets by, kicks it over to Grant. The mid-range pull is good off the backboard. LeBron now on the other end, about 2.5 minutes left in this game. You're up, you're down by one, actually, I should say. LeBron James gets the screen, kicks it over to Thompson. They're swinging around Reggie Miller. LeBron James with it. Scottie Pippen, that's a great defender guarding him. LeBron trying to create something out of nothing here versus Scottie. The one-on-one ISO. LeBron driving in, nowhere to go. LeBron stepping back. He's got to pull the trigger. Wow. The Bulls now looking to extend their lead to either 3 or possibly 4. A 2-possession game if they can hit a 3 here. They're swinging it around. Michael Jordan backdoor. What a play from the Chicago Bulls. I did not even see that one developing at first. LeBron with it now. Down by 3 for the Indiana Pacers. This is a huge possession. You need to score here. It's not the end of the world if you don't, but it would be nice to definitely score. Reggie Miller with it, one-on-one. Michael Jordan, another great defensive matchup. The 2 stars in Indiana are going to struggle here. Michael Jordan, another bad look for Indiana, but Reggie Miller gets bailed out. Another Chicago possession now. LeBron James, 37 points. Mike, great defense. Reggie Miller gets the block. LeBron off to the races. 2 men to beat. Scottie Pippen. LeBron driving by him. His lay. Oh, wow. No good. On the other end now, Michael Jordan on the fast break. He goes by Smith, who blocks it. Sends it to the 6th row. This is still completely anyone's game here late, so these last possessions are huge. Michael Jordan. Reggie Miller smothering him again. Miller, his defense is good to get the stop. The Pacers now in the break. They're going to slow it down, it looks like. LeBron James with the ball. Scottie Pippen on him. LeBron driving in straight into Scottie's chest. Nowhere to go. Reggie Miller has it now versus Michael Jordan. He gives over to Thompson. 10 seconds left. You got to get a good shot attempt this time. You have to. Workman up here at the top. He's getting a screen. This is not who you want taking. He gets Mike jumping down for 3. It's off. They can't get the board. The Bulls now up by 1. 39 seconds left. You need a stop here if you're Indiana. Scottie Pippen in the paint. He's smothered. He's smothered. Smith gets the steal. LeBron James pushing the pace now. Kicks over Miller in the corner. Miller thought about it. He doesn't pull the trigger. Slowing it down. LeBron has yet to score here late in this game. We need a big basket from LeBron James. He gets over to Workman. LeBron doesn't want it in this moment. Workman again. Who is this guy? The Pacers offensive board. Miller. Oh, I thought he had the open 3 to go for the last shot. Miller's wide open. What happened? A moving screen. An unbelievable sequence of events. Miller was wide open, didn't take it. And then a moving screen in a moment like this, they're going to have to foul. Potentially the last possession of the game now. Down by 3. You have Reggie Miller. You have to imagine he may be taking a shot. Open in the corner. Miller. Bang! He ties the game. What a shot from Reggie Miller. All you need if you're the Pacers now is one defensive stop. You can push this to overtime. Michael Jordan now. Reggie Miller sticking him. Jordan, the tough pull-up. It's off overtime. And here in overtime, it's looking like the additional 5 minutes may have not been enough either, because it is all tied up with a minute remaining. LeBron with it now. He has the mismatch with Grant. LeBron driving in. A really difficult lay. On the other end, the Bulls now with it. Michael Jordan, he's slowing it down. It looked like he was going to go quick, but now he's in the post. Reggie Miller on him. Mike gets blocked again. That's the second time Miller has blocked Mike in the clutch here. Scottie Pippen this time trying to take the lead. He draws the foul. Pippen ended up hitting both, and if I'm being honest, these final moments have all been Reggie Miller. The huge shot, 2 big blocks on Mike. It's been his show here. Can he do it again? Reggie Miller with the ball. Gets it over to Workman. This Workman guy, I don't know who he is, but he thinks he's the truth. He keeps shooting the ball. LeBron James to the post. There it is. I saw it coming. LeBron stepping back, creating space. What was that? Armstrong slowing it down. They foul Pippen. Pippen hit both. Now down by 4 with 15 seconds left at overtime. He needs something quick. Workman again for 3. This one is over. Unfortunately, after coming up short in the overtime game, this series would fall out of reach for Indiana. They had the chance to close things out on their home floor, but without being able to hold on to the lead, they gave the Bulls a chance, and they weren't letting up back in Chicago. The Bulls were winning yet again against Indiana, continuing Mike's reign, and while Jordan would be back soon enough for likely more battles in the 90s, for now he was retiring from basketball to pursue a career in baseball. And even though the defeat hurt, now for LeBron, the window was wide open. The very next season was another masterclass from James, earning another MVP to add on to his trophy case, and with it he led his team to the best record in basketball, to include a trip straight through the Eastern playoffs. With no Jordan now, the path was easy, and for the first time in a decade, LeBron was back in the finals. And these finals are actually going to be against the Phoenix Suns. I was expecting Houston to be here, but they actually lost in round 1. And obviously Phoenix was here last year in the NBA finals. He went up against Mike. Mike ended up winning. So they have a solid team, but it's not as good as this Pacers unit. The Pacers with LeBron James, I have to be honest, is way ahead of this team. I don't see a team of Charles Barkley, Kevin Johnson, and Dan. Someone let me know how to pronounce this guy's name on a video, and I already forgot it. Marley? I think it's Marley. Let me know in the comments if I got it right this time. Someone was very upset before. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and simulate, see if LeBron and his crew can win. They start off with a dub in the first game. In the second game, they're going to win. Is it going to be a sweep? It might be a clean sweep. And before we check if it's a clean sweep, I wanted to look at the stats, and LeBron's not the leading scorer. Rick Smits is out here going crazy. I think this might be one of the first seasons where it wasn't LeBron leading the team in scoring. His numbers are kind of low, but it's really well spread scoring for his team. Reggie Miller with 19, McKee with almost 17, 14 for Byron Scott, 20.3 for Rick Smits, but LeBron does have double-digit assists. So as the Pacers are about to win their first NBA championship, let's see if they're going to get the sweep versus the Phoenix Suns. They don't, but I highly doubt the Suns are going to come back. Let's simulate another. The Pacers are NBA champions, and LeBron James still ends up getting the Finals MVP. To be honest, I thought it was about to go to Rick Smits for a second. He brought his points per game up to 22. So one of these last couple of games had to have been a really big game to bring it up. And now that the championship is over, we have one more thing to talk about this season, and that is LeBron James' contract, which is set to expire. Is he going to become a Pacer again and try to compete with Michael Jordan and the Bulls once more as Mike comes back midway through the season next season? Is he going to go to another team, maybe out west, meet Mike in the finals? Or maybe we see him play for another Eastern team and try to beat Mike with them instead of the Pacers. There's only one way to find out, and that is to simulate to the next season. And LeBron was shocking the world by pulling a KD and joining the Chicago Bulls. Now joining forces with Mike, which could mean less personal accolades, but without a doubt would almost guarantee more championships here in the 90s. Their chemistry together would take off almost immediately, with LeBron being a willing passer and Mike executing on all opportunities James sets him up for. This was the premier duo of the NBA. Nobody was stopping them, and that's before even mentioning Pippen and Rodman. It wasn't a matter of how many rings can they win together. We know they'll be winning every year. Now it was just a matter of who was shining brighter as the Finals MVP. And for the first Finals together, it's against the Phoenix Suns. More or less the exact same team that LeBron just beat last year, and the year before that, Michael Jordan had just defeated himself. As far as which of our stars had the better season overall, it's LeBron James. Better in almost every single category except for steals, and he did actually win the MVP this year. So my prediction for this Finals is going to be LeBron gets the Finals MVP. And with the series at 3-1, I'm surprised Phoenix even won one, but I expect the Bulls to win this next one. Let's go ahead and simulate it. And they did win the championship, and the Finals MVP is LeBron James, averaging almost 26, 11, and 9. And Mike, on the other hand, was kind of lacking, averaging only 21, 4, and 7. LeBron easily wins that Finals MVP. Moving into the 1996 Finals, we have the Utah Jazz, headlined by the Predator. Any young children watching, be careful with this part. Also have John Stockton on the team, Hornacek, yada, yada, yada. The Bulls are still going to crush them. And as far as the better season this year, I'd actually give this one to Mike. I think he wins this one, outdoing him in steals, blocks, and points. Just a couple less rebounds a night, and then just a little bit less assists. I think overall, you got to give credit to Michael Jordan this year. But with the Bulls about to probably win the Finals, I don't know how the Jazz got 2 wins. Who is going to win the Finals MVP? I think is going to be LeBron again. Jordan had the better year, but I still think it's going to go to LeBron. And I was wrong. Mike had an incredible final. 32 points a night. He was on fire. I don't know about that 53-point percentage. 2K may be tripping with that. But I can guarantee LeBron did not get snubbed. And Michael Jordan definitely deserved this. 32, 7, and 5 compared to LeBron's 25, 6, and 3. Mike definitely got this. Going on to 1997, we have the Seattle Supersonics, which the Bulls played in real life in 95-96. They got a little bit worse this year, and the Bulls got a lot better, adding LeBron James. This should be a very easy final. And it's also very easy to see who had the better season this year. Mike with 30, 6.5, and 7 a night, and LeBron's numbers dropped all the way down to 21 points a game, 6 rebounds, and just shy of 8 assists. Easily Michael Jordan had the better season. I think he's easily going to win the Finals MVP again. And not only was I right, but this is an astonishing Finals appearance. 35.5, 6, and 6 for Jordan. 0% from the three-point line. Didn't hit a single one, but he was on fire inside the arc. And LeBron's numbers dropped all the way down to less than 17 points a game. Only 5 rebounds, 6 assists. It's like the 2011 Finals against the Mavericks. Clear meltdown from LeBron. But he can only do so much when Mike is taking that many shots to get 36 points a game. And in the 98 Finals, they're actually going up against the Los Angeles Lakers with Shaq and Kobe Bean Bryant, who I'm sure LeBron is about to have a lot of run-ins with very, very soon here in the 2000s. But for now, this will be the first one, and it happens in the NBA Finals. As good as this team is, I still easily have to give credit to the Bulls. Probably going to win this. And as far as who had the better season, this is by far the closest one in my opinion. Mike had about a point more a game, but LeBron had half a rebound extra, a little bit over 2 more assists a game, about the same on steals, about the same on blocks, very close on field goal percentage, but LeBron had about 1 less turnover. Very, very close between these two this season. The Finals MVP could go either way. And with the Bulls up 3-0, it's looking like it's probably about to be a sweep against the Lakers. And it ends up being Michael Jordan winning yet another Finals MVP. What's that? 3 of the 4 go to Mike? LeBron only gets 1. And this was a really rough series for LeBron James. He only had 15 points a night, shot 40% from the field. The regular season was close without a doubt. The finals were not close. This is all Mike. He definitely deserved that Finals MVP over LeBron. Even Scottie Pippen could have got it over LeBron this year. But that is about to be where everything changes, though, because speaking of Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan, they're both about to be leaving the Bulls, leaving LeBron to fend all for himself. And with the Bulls core all disbanded, again, like the early Pacer days, LeBron was all alone, making no notable progress at all the last seasons of the 90s, missing the playoffs entirely and officially ending this era, which honestly would be his least successful yet, and some of that letdown was carrying into the 2000s. The early 2000s Bulls were an abysmal mess. It took Chicago a while to rebuild after the MJ days, and honestly, even still in 2024, they have yet to recover. So for now, LeBron was on his own, and while he was putting up great numbers in Chicago during the 2000s, there was no way this team was winning. It would be a few seasons of losing to start the decade, but eventually he'd have a chance out. We have yet another season of LeBron James being a free agent. There's 4 teams very interested in him, obviously, because they offered him the max: the San Antonio Spurs, Los Angeles Clippers, the Phoenix Suns, and of course, the Chicago Bulls, who are able to offer him the most money. He has 100 interest in all 4 of them, and then pretty much every other team in the league threw whatever money they could at him, just pretty much praying, hoping. The Knicks are just honestly kind of disrespectful. 667K is kind of crazy, but they're trying to snag him if they can. Nonetheless, more than likely he'll choose one of these 4 teams, and that'll be his new team for the 2000s, or maybe it'll be the Bulls. Maybe he'll stick with them. Hopefully not. There's gonna be a really boring sim if he sticks with the Bulls. They're terrible until 2010 with Derrick Rose starting to become MVP. So I guess we'll have to find out though. LeBron's new home would be out in Phoenix with the Suns. His new roster was way ahead of the Bulls teams that he's been on. He now had an all-star point guard with him in Marbury, the rookie of the year with the athletic Amari Stoudemire, and rounding out the roster, one of the best defenders in Shawn Marion. There weren't any superstar talent around him, but plenty of great pieces to give him a chance to contend for a ring. His time here was kicking off much like it has for the other teams he was a part of. He was leading the group in most statistical categories and was the #1 guy for his team, leading them all the way to the playoffs. By round 1 against the 8th seed would surprisingly be very difficult. It was the young Mavericks who were headlined by the German superstar Dirk Nowitzki. He was eating the rookie Amari alive throughout this whole series, and even though Phoenix had the better overall roster, there was no guarantees of winning with Dirk feasting the way he was. Not only that, but they also had Steve Nash, who wasn't an MVP caliber guard as of yet, but he was still a clear-cut star in this league. With this duo playing at such a high level, it was no surprise that Dallas was up with the possibility for an upset. That is, until LeBron James promptly took over the remainder of the series, going out in both games 6 and 7 and having some all-time performances to give his team the push they needed to barely scrape by. That was a bit of a scare. Honestly, I thought LeBron and the Suns were about to lose to the 8th-seeded Dallas Mavericks. I mean, they're a good team, but this Phoenix Suns team should be legitimate contenders. That shouldn't have been an issue. Hopefully these next rounds aren't as bad. The second round, thankfully, was nowhere near as close as the first. Up against the Sacramento Kings, Phoenix was establishing themselves as the real deal, crushing Sacramento easily in a sweep. But then in the conference finals, everything would be different. We saw LeBron defeat Kobe and the Lakers a few years back with Jordan and the Bulls, but now it was Bryant who had the edge with the better team. Kobe was a man possessed with revenge fueling him in this series, and pairing that with a prime Shaq down low, the Suns had no chance, not only losing this season, but again in 2004. Facing the exact same fate against the Lakers once again, sending LeBron packing ringless halfway through the 2000s. But no need to worry, because help was on the way in the form of the league's best playmaker. With the addition of Steve Nash, the Suns' offense was instantly changing overnight, kicking off the 8-second or less offense that Phoenix was known for, and LeBron was fitting in perfectly. His ability to get out on the break and score or find open teammates was working wonders. And to add on to that, with the young guys like Amari, Joe Johnson, and Shawn Marion all starting to reach their potential, paired with the fact that Steve Nash had broke out as the MVP favorite, you now had one of the most exciting teams in league history. They won 62 wins in real life this year, so after adding LeBron, as you can guess, they did very well. 79 wins is just crazy. I mean, you gotta expect it though. You're putting LeBron James on some of the best teams of all time. Of course, their win percentage is gonna jump to these crazy numbers, but era after era, he's finding himself a team where they're just become one of the greatest teams we've ever seen. And to be honest with you, I think that this group, honestly, would be the one that LeBron would fit in the best. I mean, maybe the Magic and Kareem Lakers, but I just feel like this one would be even better. You got Steve Nash facilitating the offense, getting that 8-second or less offense going with the fast breaks with LeBron James running the break. Then you got Amari, the athletic big, you could throw lobs to. He could score down low on his own. You got Shawn Marion playing defense, Joe Johnson, the great shot creator, all going together with everything that LeBron does. I feel like this is just the dream pairing around him. And then on top of that, he was the MVP yet again, getting set up by Steve Nash very easily, but no defensive player of the year. He has yet to win one in this entire like 50-something year sim so far, and I think it's kind of crazy. He's been very close a lot of times. He's gotten second place in the race a lot, but has yet to win it. He's got to win at least one. He's got to win one before we're done. And to be quite honest, here in the playoffs, I'm not expecting much. I think we're just gonna simulate it. If something's close, I'll stop. Maybe we'll jump in. And I know I'm doing a lot of like face cam talking about stats in this video. I normally don't do that too much, but to be honest, as LeBron's joining these crazy good teams, there's only so much I could talk about, you know, scripting the storyline and everything, because he just dominates every single year, as we're about to see. Let's go and simulate these playoffs, see what happens here against the Denver Nuggets in round one. That's an easy sweep. He'll probably honestly sweep the entire playoffs. He goes straight through the West with only one loss, and then in the finals, he's gonna end up playing the New Jersey Nets. And the Nets have a pretty solid team, but they're honestly kind of like a knockoff Phoenix Suns. Jason Kidd compared to Steve Nash, Vince Carter compared to, I guess, LeBron, and then Richard Jefferson compared to Shawn Marion, but they really don't have a Amari Stoudemire option here. I don't think they have any chance. And I was right. The Phoenix Suns go ahead and sweep the New Jersey. And I was right. The Phoenix Suns easily sweep the New Jersey Nets. And to go along with it, LeBron James, a finals MVP. Another dominant run, and I don't think that anyone's stopping this Phoenix team anytime soon. The next season, the Suns technically did get a little bit worse. They lost one more game going into the 2006 season, and this year was a really, really good year for LeBron James, averaging almost 30 points, almost 10 assists, 8 rebounds a game. He did get MVP this season as well, and they're actually facing the Los Angeles Lakers here in the conference finals. I was expecting, you know, some intense rivalries versus Kobe Bryant or maybe even Tim Duncan here in the 2000s, but with this Phoenix team, I don't think we're really seeing any rivalries. Let's go ahead and simulate against the Los Angeles Lakers, and it's an easy sweep. And then we have the Detroit Pistons in the NBA Finals. Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, Billups, Hamilton. You guys know the team. No chance to defeating the Suns roster. And they didn't. LeBron James, Finals MVP. They won in 5 in phenomenal series from LeBron. 32.5 a night, 9.5 boards, 9.5 assists. A really solid performance. And you look at the individual games here in the finals. I mean, we have a 40-point game, 27-31, 27-37. Really dominant run from LeBron James here. Just absolutely crushed one of the best defensive teams in NBA history. And in 2007, another MVP for LeBron. Not a lot to say here. If I talk too much about this Suns run here in the mid-2000s, I'm going to sound like a broken record. Every year, they are dominating, and every year they are winning. I'm sure this will be another very easy run through the playoffs. We're just going to go ahead and simulate. I highly doubt any team stands any chance against the Warriors. They sweep them. They're playing the Jazz. They sweep them. The Rockets actually beat them in the conference finals. And in the game 7 that they ended up losing to the Rockets, LeBron James with a real stinker. 17 points, 5 for 13 from the field. Really strong night for Steve Nash, but LeBron didn't pick up his part. And honestly, in this series, he got progressively worse. 45, then 36, stayed in the 30s, got down to the 20s, and they really figured him out by game 7. They had LeBron all figured out, and Houston was just completely shut him down. Honestly, I thought the Suns were just going to tear through this 2000s. They actually ended up losing a really close one to the Rockets. I was not expecting that at all. But in 2008, the Suns do get a little bit better. They have Shaq joining the mix, and their record was a little bit worse, maybe a chemistry issue, getting Shaq involved. but on paper the team should be a lot better. He's still at an all-star level at this point in his career. I think he got an all-star the year after this, 2009, because I think he was hurt some in 2008. But a great addition, and I imagine that should be a major help in them getting back on the right path. But even if they don't as a team get back on the right path, LeBron himself in this stretch in the 2000s, it could have been better as far as winning championships, but he's gotten a ton of MVPs. Another one here in 2008 goes to LeBron James. And now making it here to the finals, they are facing the Boston Celtics. Now this team is stacked. We're talking Paul Pierce, Garnett, Ray Allen, and Rondo. And normally I would introduce this team hyped up to be this big climatic clash, but I don't think it's going to be that. I think the Suns are easily going to win. Even as good as this team is, I think the Suns have it. But if not, hey, if I simulate it and it's close, maybe we'll hop in and do a little spectating here, but I don't think it's going to be close. And as of right now, the Phoenix Suns are up 3-1. I think they're going to close this one out here in game 5. They're at home court. I'd be surprised if Boston wins, and the Suns do end up winning. LeBron James, another Finals MVP. Not a single one has gone to Steve Nash. LeBron hasn't been able to get every single Finals MVP, and this run is going beautifully with the Phoenix Suns here in the late 2000s. I still can't believe they didn't win last year, but this is still a really good run. But here in 2009, the Suns by far have their worst record they've had in the last couple of seasons. The team is starting to get old. Steve Nash is getting older. Amari's dealing with back trouble. Grant Hill is old as can be, and it's really starting to show. You have Amari down to under 15 a night. Nash is only at 14 a night. LeBron's numbers are staying pretty steady as you would expect, but the team is starting to kind of lack. I don't know if they're going to be able to get it done this year. And with them facing the Los Angeles Lakers in round 1 against Kobe, he might have a chance for his revenge. And with the Suns down 3-1 against the Lakers, I think this could be the end of an era. I really think this could be the end of the era. We're going to go ahead and simulate this last game. The Phoenix Suns pull one out. Can they force a game 7? They're not able to. They're going to be eliminated. And as the Phoenix Suns fall here in 2009, no signature games from LeBron in this series. Nothing special. Nothing stands out as extraordinary when he really put in the work to help get his team to win. And honestly, the Lakers, the games they won were complete blowouts. It wasn't even close. They barely even won the one game that they did win to start off the series. And they're going to be ending up 2009 at the end of the 2000 era. This might be the worst era that LeBron has had so far. And it was, racking in his least amount of rings in any era to date. And with him sticking things out in Phoenix, things were only about to get worse. In the past, when LeBron got stuck on less than ideal teams, it only lasted a couple seasons. And so he either changed teams in free agency or some helped join the team to push him into contention. But in the following stretch, there was nobody coming to save LeBron. He was sticking things out with the Phoenix Suns, and in the era of the 2010s, they were one of the worst teams in the entire league. And even with as good as LeBron was, there was no chance of him making a large enough impact to turn them into winners. Other teams were ecstatic when they had the Suns on their schedule. It was finally their chance to get revenge on LeBron for destroying all of their franchises for decades now. This was by a landslide the most failed era for LeBron, and it would end up being very anticlimactic with only a couple playoff runs, but not even a single finals appearance to show for it. But luckily, the 2020s would be something special. For one last time in his amazing career, LeBron was part of another very strong team. The development of Devin Booker, along with more solid role players, was enough to give LeBron the help he needed to get back to winning. In 2021, he was back in the finals against the Celtics, one of his longest term rivals, and this would only be the start, winning not only here but repeating against the Celtics yet again in 2022, leading to back-to-back rings for the Suns, starting to establish LeBron's reign of the 2020s even before the real talent joins the group. With Kevin Durant joining the roster, they instantly became by far the best team in the league again, making it back into the NBA Finals very quickly, easily winning in both 2023 and 2024, with both of the Finals MVPs going to LeBron. But come 2025, King James was facing one final close Game 7. It has been a long journey to get to this point. 65 seasons simulated. I've been recording all week long. One final Game 7 in the NBA Finals. Knicks versus the Phoenix Suns. The Suns are up by 3 late. 3 minutes left in the game. Jalen Brunson, one-on-one ISO. Brunson, floater over the larger defender, Plumlee to board. LeBron James with the ball now, still in his prime in the year 2025. Up by 3, trying to extend the lead. OG Anunoby defending him. LeBron, the hezzy move. He's got the whole left side of the court to himself. LeBron, the drive, the dunk, and the points. Yo, I'm so drained. I've been recording for so long. I wanted to say the slam, then I said the point. There was a lot going on. Jalen Brunson drawing contact going to the line. 3-point game again now. The Phoenix Suns still in the driver's seat. LeBron James with the ball. OG on him again. LeBron, he's aggressive. Not getting anyone else involved. LeBron wants this final ring. LeBron is going to get the job done himself. He gets the screen, drives in the same exact drive. The slam and the foul. As James hits the free throw, it is now a 6-point lead. If they get a stop here, they are in fantastic position to try to win this final game 7. Jalen Brunson, that's a terrible shot. No foul call. Tyus Jones with the ball. The Suns win it now. They're kicking over Booker. Wide open for 3. Oh, it's off. New York still hanging on in this one somehow. They are choking here, but it's still within reach. They can still come back. It's only a 6-point deficit. Nothing too crazy. OG versus LeBron here. Brunson finally gets involved. Josh Hart. No, it's Jalen Brunson driving in. This time, Jalen too strong to lay. It's only a 4-point game. The Suns have not won this one yet. There's a lot of time for the Knicks to try to figure this out. LeBron, again, one-on-one with OG. The left side of the rim, again. He pump fakes, nowhere to go. Kicks it out to KD. Kevin Durant, Josh under him, the smaller defender. Kevin Durant, a ton of space. The little pull-up later is good. Jalen Brunson, can he match Durant's shot there? You might want to get a 3 if you're in New York. If you can get a good look at 3, it might be time to get one. Karl-Anthony Towns, the screen. Brunson, pull-up is good. Both teams are getting in the flow of the offense now, matching each other bucket for bucket. Still a 4-point lead, though, for the Phoenix Suns. The Knicks desperately need a stop if they're going to win. King James driving it in. James draws auto contact. No foul. No foul. The Knicks the board. LeBron blows the open lay. Pushing the pace. Josh Hart, left side, pull-up jumper over KD. Oh, if he would have hit that shot, that would have been an all-time finals moment. That would have been huge. All the momentum would have been their side. LeBron gets fouled. They're playing the foul game. He gets both free throws. A 6-point deficit now. I've seen crazier things happen in the NBA in moments like this. 32 seconds left. Anything is possible. More than likely the Suns win, but the Knicks do have time. Inbound to Brunson. Wide open lane. No foul on Kevin Durant. This one is over. And just like that, one more finals win for LeBron James, winning 5 straight to close out his career with the Phoenix Suns and close out the 2020s era with a near perfect run, but also ending his entire career, where he is by far the undisputed GOAT as he closes out playing all of NBA history.